Hey guys, TikTok here. Today I'm going to be talking about the best decks you can use to get Legend or to play once in Legend and to play in High Legend and get High Legend with in Hearthstone right now. So the very best deck in the game at the moment is the Rogue, specifically the Sonya Rogue. So there are a bunch of lists that are around right now. You can play this list with one O Manager, one Mic Drop, one Scoundrel, and then exactly 6 minions, which is like one way to play it. There is also another list that plays double Scoundrel, so you cut the Mic Drop and you play a second Scoundrel. And that also cuts O Manager for a Stomper. I don't really like that. I actually like having one Scoundrel and one Scoundrel, no Stomper, one Mic Drop, one O Manager. I got to top 100 with this deck today. I started playing it like 2 or 3 days ago, made a video on it by the way, that's on my channel, last video I posted. And yeah, I have like a 63% win rate with the deck. The deck is completely broken and I've been misplaying a lot. So like, the deck is really hard. It's the best deck in the game. It's getting countered really hard at top legend right now. Everyone is playing Stomper, Dirty Rat, Razor Scale, the new 2-5. Like, everyone's playing all of the possible techs that exist to beat it, but it can still manage to win against those techs. And it destroys like any deck that doesn't have those techs. Like, it completely farms Insanity Warlock, it farms Overheal Priest, farms Druid. Like, I'm 14 and 5 or 15 and 4 against Druid. Like, crazy win rate. Then the second best deck in the game right now is Overheal Priest. I'm running the list that was most played at DMT, so the list with the new Hunter Tourist, Bird Watching, and yeah, just the Hedanis Rest in Peace Aman Tool package. Not that much to say about this deck. It's pretty similar to what we used to play in the past, except that with Bird Watching and Pupil that are new and that make the deck quite a bit better. And also the deck was like slightly boring to people for a while, so it wasn't necessarily played even though it was already top 1 or like tier 1. So yeah, really good deck. Not that much to say about it. I might make a video on this at some point. Yeah, Mulligan, use Mulligan for your early game. Like, you want Clergy, if you have Clergy, keep saying Hidden Gem is like always a keep, I think. Love is usually a keep against lower decks, and Holler is always a keep against aggro. Then we have Handbuff Paladin. This list might be a tiny bit outdated now that everyone's playing Rogue. So you might want, like, I've seen people play Dirty Rat right now. This is pretty good against Rogue, honestly, but people have been playing Dirty Rat, other people have been playing Neophytes. So this one has Custom Enforcer, Razor Scale, and Stomper as Rogue techs. That's honestly more than enough. Like, I've seen people cut Lily and Amitus for double Neophytes. I think the #1 legend list from Norway runs double Neophyte instead of Zilli and Amitus, but this is the most common list, I think. Yeah, just Mulligan for your weapon in early game. Don't play any early game for your weapon. Play your weapon, buff your minions, and then kill your opponents with overstated minions. Not really that much to say. Magata is also an keep with weapon. Then Insanity Warlock. Insanity Warlock is actually in a weird spot right now. Fizzle is not as good as it used to be because the meta is very, very bad for Insanity Warlock, because so these Pala and Rogue are both really good against Insanity Warlock, and Overheal Priest is not really bad against Insanity Warlock. So like, Insanity Warlock can farm any of the good matchups. And so at NDMT, Insanity Warlock was the 4th best deck, right? It was always the deck that was like struggling to get a win after these 3. So like, these 4 decks are like exactly the lineups that were played at the Master Tour for the most part. It's a decent deck. Yeah, just Mulligan for your early game and your Popgar, your Crescendo, your Fatigue cards. You can easily cut Fizzle, I think. Like, cutting Fizzle kind of makes sense at the moment. Like, you can cut Fizzle for a Symphony, for example, or like you can cut Fizzle for like a Neophyte. I've seen a lot of people do that. Yeah, like just cut a Fizzle for a Neophyte, that's completely fine. You can do that. Depending on what you face, like if you face a lot of Palas, like you probably want to play stuff like Glacial Shard. Like, there is a freeze package Insanity Warlock that runs around with Glacial Shard and free stuff. That's probably better against buff Pala. And then in the 4 classes that are a tiny bit worse, so 11 classes in Hearthstone, right? Demon Hunter, Hunter, and Mage, I actually don't have a deck to showcase because the classes are just really bad. They are completely unplayable in top legend. I don't even think they're playable in like low legend. Like there is the buff hunter deck that's like fine probably to play. I think mage is like literally the worst class in the game right now. Like there is not a single. I guess spell mage is like fine, but it's like ever so slightly too slow. And people are all running stomper, neophyte, razor scale stuff. So the Jaina is just way worse. And then demon hunter, like you can play aggro and you can play naga, but the deck is really not that good. So I'm going to be talking about these three. You can probably find the good decks for these three, like the most playable decks for these three on Donkey. Then Highlander Druid. I've been toying around a bit with the Highlander Druid list. I think this is what I came to at the end. Like, um, the list at DMT from Mori used to run Gorgonzormu, which I think sucks. And it was also running one trail mix, which I don't think is too good. I think Overplanner is insanely good in this deck, even though people underestimate it. And I added a Lotus Seedling as well that I think is really good, and Nomelia that I also think is really good. I'm not exactly sure what the cuts were, but I know I cut like, yeah, I cut a trail mix and I cut Gorgonzormu and something else for these cards. Just mulligan for your ramp, not really anything crazy. A really strong deck. I think it's the best druid deck, like by quite a bit. It's better than Concierge and it's also better than the tempo druid that people play. Then with Shaman, I actually showed to I wanted to showcase the list from Jambre that he brought to the Solar Eternity, and he's been also playing on ladder a bit. It's really cool, I think. Like it runs Hagafa with Decor. And then it also has Horn as a win con, and like you've turned the tides, that's also pretty good. One card that he was testing for a bit, I think, from what he told me, was the Demon Hunter card, Skirting Death, but he didn't really like it. Like you can deal 20 damage with that card. You can probably cut. I'm actually not even sure like what the cut would be. It would like be some kind of oh yeah. I added a mock pools actually. It's not exactly his list. I put a mock pools in there. But his list was this, and I thought Mugpool could fit nicely as a 1 mana card, just to evolve Giants sometimes, or like even the Ziliax. A really fun deck. Can actually go decently long with Frosty Decor and Hagata, Wish Upon a Star. Like you have a lot of refills. And it feels nicer to play than the list with Wave of Nostalgia and like Pirates. Then I have the triple blood DK that I already showcased in a video earlier last week, I think. I've been swapping some cards around, like I'm not running Soul Stealer anymore because you never get to that much mana anyways. I might start playing some two of Blood DK, but for now this list has been good. I added a Baron as well. All the codes are gonna be in the chat or in the comments. I still have Fizzle. I probably should cut it because I think the meta right now is very fast. Like you're not gonna be having games that go to 10 mana a lot of the time, if ever. So cards like Reno, like Yogg, like even Primus or Marine, they're pretty meh. Like you wanna have as many early game cards as you possibly can. You kinda need disruption in this meta because there is a lot of combo. And then the very last deck I wanted to showcase was Odyn Warrior. So this is a list from XiaoWang, who is a Chinese player, and he actually got rank 1 legend with this list for a bit. Like I think 2 or 3 days ago, he was rank 1 legend with this list. So I haven't played it myself, but it looked really good. I think he cut a gift for heavy plate. At least last time I played against him, he was running heavy plate. But this is the latest list that I got from someone who told me that it was their list. And from what I've seen them play against me, it really looks like that. So yeah, decent. So this deck is actually pretty decent right now. I think it's getting like slightly better over time because even though there is disruption doesn't hit this deck nearly as badly as other decks because you also kind of have like minions. Like you're not that vulnerable to you're not vulnerable to cold feet, but you're not also vulnerable to like dirty art stuff necessarily. So you don't run Fizzle, but with double pupil and double sleep, you have like so much armor gain potential, and also Marine with pupil, Marine that can give you one and then pupil into it. That like yeah, you can get like 100 armor with this deck, deal 100 damage, especially with Ignis Windfury weapon. Lots of removal. it's a cool deck. I haven't really played it yet. I'm probably going to at some point. I think it's like slightly favored against Overheal. It's probably slightly favored against Paladin, but like you get destroyed by Insanity Warlock, you get kind of destroyed by Highlander Druid, and you get mega murdered by Rogue as well. So it's like you beat bad rogue players because you can board lock them with Odyn Warrior, but you lose to good rogue players that are gonna keep like Tarslick and Defon to clear their own minions, then kill you with the deal 6 from Grifta. So yeah, that's it. That's it for the best decks. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.